life.
Scourging.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to open the meeting of the council. The council meets regularly to conduct business on behalf of the citizens of Advance, Indiana, and to hear from various departments to the parties or activities. Public is invited to attend as an observer of the council proceeding, occasionally be allowed input towards a particular subject. The town council adopt rules of order. No one shall speak unless they are recognized by the council president. Once recognized, the speakers shall stand, state their name, state their purpose. When addressing the council, speakers shall remain on the subject of discussion and shall not introduce any new subject for further discussion. No profanity or vulgarity will be allowed by the council in session. Those who are allowed to speak from the gallery will be permitted to speak 3 minutes the first time, 2 minutes the second time, 1 minute the last time. To the matter of the current subject. Council by statute has a final authority in all matters to this. This session shall conduct the meeting in such a way as to deem necessary to maintain order and proceed. For relevant would like to discuss a new concern or request department to complete return to clerk's office no later than Wednesday prior to the town council meeting. Forms received at that deadline will be placed on the following meeting's agenda. Town council can take reasonable steps to maintain order in the meeting, including the removal of any person who is willfully distracted during the meeting. You're up, Gary.
Okay. So we had a change which accomplished, the purpose of it is to accomplish a couple of things. One is there was some curb added to the project there in front of, I can't remember the owner of the building, but it's across from barbecue place. Where NDOT come around on State Road 75 and kind of into the sidewalk roughly. We ended up putting about 50 feet of curb in to try to make the drainage situation better. The other thing that we did by work change directive was to spread the millings back at the water tower site, which was not part of the original bid or contract. So those two items together, after some negotiation, I'll call it, on the millings, some of the millings were spread in private driveways, so we negotiated out some of the costs for that. So with those two items, it was an addition of $3,250. The other portion of this change order was the final quantity adjustments, which was an increase of $3,570.81. Is
that for material?
Yeah, so what I want to do with this handout is just sort of walk you through the process, but the first thing I'd like to point out is underneath construction cost estimate for CCMG application, got highlighted down there in yellow, town share of $79,968.75. So that's where we started based on the original estimate when we submitted the CCMG application. And then at the very bottom of the second page, including this change order, the town share ends up being $57,903.29. So there's a reduction, about $22,000 altogether from where we started to where we ended.
So we're ending up with less than what we expected to spend on the town share, right?
Yeah, but the first portion of this goes through, my calculation of the quantities. And we bid these projects based on the unit price instead of lump sum, just because we want all the contractors to more or less sing off the same sheet of music. We give them quantities. It's a unit price contract, so the actual amount we pay them is based on the actual quantities. So the first part just kind of leads you through, this is based on the asset management plan, dimensions that we took. I usually try to be very conservative on projecting costs so that we make sure the grant comes in more than what we need. So I went through all that exercise and broke down there on just Wall Street. We had an estimate of $256,625. CCMG award for Wall Street was $192,468.75. So the town share of just Wall Street was $64,156.25. So then we get the grant. So then the second item down there is after we get the grant, we come out, do some field surveying, particularly since we were replacing sidewalk, to take a closer look at quantities of sidewalk that we had to remove and so forth. We also took elevations of the road to try to get a crown created in the center of the road so it pitches off at least 2% slope, gets into the side ditches, which there aren't really predominant ditches, but you do have ditches between the sidewalk and edge of pavement that supposedly flow to various inlets. So I got a closer look at estimating quantities from doing that. I just sort of led you through all the different quantities. The thing I want to point out here is we added a storm sewer structure because I didn't foresee the need for one when we were doing the planning and the original grant application. But after we obtained the elevations, it was pretty obvious on the south side, nearest that building that's very close to the edge of pavement. It got pretty flat there, and I was concerned about getting proper drainage. So I added the inlet to the project and a few feet of pipe to connect in the storm sewer. So we also added 2 manhole castings that needed to be adjusted and 3 water pump boxes, which actually turned out to be 4. One was in the sidewalk, that whenever the sidewalk up to grade, it's near where you pull back and go into the tank site, they had to raise the valve box there. So total Wall Street bid amount was $140,867.40, so it was quite a bit less than the $256,625, which we originally had in the application. The CCMG purchase order amount for Wall Street was $105,650.55. The town share for Wall Street was $35,216.85. And then I gave you the total numbers for the total project, which included also Oak Street and the alley down here on the east side of town. So the total town share included, because the alley was ineligible, and for the local share of Oak Street and Wall Street was $51,082.48. So after construction, a couple things I noted here. The single thickness sidewalk removal went over. Most of that was underneath the stone where you pull into where they cook the food for Jawbone Barbecue between there and State Road 75. There was stone actually covering concrete pavement. The pavement was actually greater than 6 inches thick, but the contractor agreed to just be paid for the single thickness quantity, which I think was 50 cents less a square foot than what the double thickness bid item. The surface went over by 24.3 tons. I measured the pavement width because I had a question in my mind as to why did we go over on that tonnage. The pavement width for the majority of the section, when I estimated it, it was 20 feet wide Now it's 21, so I can't tell you if the grass had encroached out into the pavement before and I didn't measure the width properly, or they actually widened the thing on my foot, but it's a little bit wider when I estimate the quantities. Oh, the thing that I can't control is we try to tell them on a 2-inch, mill approximately 2 inches, put back 2 inches, but we also have to worry about the crown of the pavement, as I mentioned. So sometimes, you might be milling just an inch on the crown and 2.5 or 3 inches over the side. Now, most contractors are conscientious of the quantities that we have, and they'll check the yield as they go. So as they're paving, they get a few feet down the road, we see we're using, 22 tons to accomplish that. Let's do a quick calculation, run pretty good on the yield. This contractor did not do that. It came out when they were paving Oak Street, and I asked the paving guy, because I didn't know who the foreman was, hey, are you keeping track of quantities for me? Oh, yeah, that's his answer. But I don't think they did, so we probably are thicker than 2 inches in a few places, but we did go by 24.3 tons. Those are the main overages on the project that make up that 30-some hundred, 35, 70, 81.
My bottom line is, we originally thought we were gonna spend $70,000 out of our part portion, and we don't have to spend the 57. And the change orders and stuff like that makes the street look awful good, and I'm pleased with what I saw. Anybody unhappy with what we saw? So, what do we need to do? Just go ahead and approve it so we can pay?
Approve the change orders so they can submit their final pay estimate, and then once that's paid, or I guess they have submitted their final pay application. So once those are paid, we can go ahead and file out the project, and we get a copy of the canceled check.
So I can go ahead and do that.
Get a motion to approve the change order.
Make a motion to approve the change orders as written.
Second.
All fair say aye.
I'm just getting it on. Next one.
I understand when you go to build something, there's no perfect build. And you have to have change orders to make up the way you want it.
Yeah.
And that's the end story. When we got it, it's what we wanted, or what you wanted us to have, and that's what.
And under what we bought.
Yes.
We had a meeting on that, we heard 24 ton. 24
Yeah.
ton.
Yeah.
That was a big question. It makes sense.
Yeah, I can assure you, it went down now.
I used to do asphalt work in the days.
Did you? I did too, back in the 70s.
Did a little parking lot.
Who did you?
Actually paved roads in the street, some of the streets back in the day in the 90s.
Really? When the man made
Just Earth Street here one time,
Oh,
just over the top.
that's an odd job too, in the summertime.
I just started, I stayed skinny back then.
So I will get that check
Okay.
cut and then. as soon
Send
as
me a
it
copy of
clears,
the signing change.
and I'll get these scanned and emailed to you tomorrow. Or, tomorrow.
Okay, so done with that one, I think the next thing.
Anything else from me on budget?
Yeah.
Got all that figured out? Okay.
We all figured.
CCM next year, you're looking at Cherry Street and what, Ash Street, or what, Ash Street?
Yeah, you know how much money gonna have this year?
After we get done talking tonight, I'm fine.
Just let it know.
Yeah, I'll let you know what.
Back in.
Yeah, sure.
So Cherry Street and what was the other? Ash?
Ash, this is right here. Ash is not in very good shape for sure, but Cherry Street is, but we need some sidewalks on it. That's the big thing.
Thank you, Gary.
There's someplace in the sidewalk, the people who own the property actually took the sidewalk out, which is insane. So, can we replace the sidewalk that somebody took out? I should be stupid.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, you can
kitty off.
cheat on it.
Kitty off the sidewalk out there. I don't know why she did it, you know, she's not laying on. On the budget, I got some proposed changes. So you use the 2024 fire truck for Marshall for official business only. In other words, he can take it home with him, he can drive here, but if he's not, he can't take it any place except for home and just in that, no place else, unless he's got a court case or some kind of official business for the town of Fairfax. And it's not saying that's what we have to do. Sell the 2013 Tahoe, which we bid for, but it's they call it government deals. If you tell me to go ahead and bid for them, it's a nationwide auction house. I don't know what we'll get out of it, but they'll sell it. Okay? Take the 2018 pickup truck, surplus it, and sell it. But the deputy used the 2017 Tahoe only when he's on duty at the sheriff's reserve. In other words, he won't leave the town either. Store that at the city building. In other words, he's not going to have to take home car anymore. And then the park needs to work on some transfer equipment, and we're doing some stuff with that. And while I'm thinking of looking at that stuff, if we can go ahead and do that, I can cut a bunch of money out of the police budget. I mean, all I'm saying is, these are just ideas, okay? Not saying that's what we have to do. And by the way, all this stuff I talked about, the police cars, Brad's already approved, he said it's okay. In fact, if you went out through him on the bus and everything, police clothing, at $1,500, I'm saying cut that in half, supplies, cut that in half, computer program, cut that in half.
No, I can't, and the reason being is because I might be able to now.
Okay.
Because he's gonna be going down to three,
Yes, and air cards and all that, there's gonna be 2 air cards. Okay, so, and the thing is, it's just an idea, if we cut these, and we find out later that we need money,
we can do an additional.
it's appropriation. Miscellaneous supplies, cut that 50%, cut the gas from 11,000 to 5,500, radios from 1,500, police car repair from 6,000 to 3,000, equipment repair from 7,500 to 2,500, that's $14,075 there. That's not, I'm not saying that that's what we should do, but that's a possibility. Then when we look at the parking construction, we can give them 50%, they got 2,500 there now, cut that to 1,250, park maintenance, 7,500, cut that to 3,750, park equipment, 3,400 to 17, and park board. The total of all those is $22,875. So out of that, what I'm proposing, we can move money back, if we want to move $1,000 back into police gas, or $500 computer program. But you guys take a look and see what you think.
So does that include the mowing with the maintenance?
That is all, that is.
That's all, that's the utilities and mowing and everything.
So how do we afford the mowing?
That's for the maintenance.
Right, but if you're cutting it, you're not cutting it
The
50%.
amount we're cutting is less than what there is now. And if we need to, we can run money back.
So
It's
the,
not permanent right now.
no, the appropriation report, I ran it through, because when I do the budget, I run it through 6:30, right when we get our disbursement, and that should be half of the year. So park maintenance, I wouldn't want to really slash too much of that, just only because of our seasons being longer. I think they've gone in and mowed in November before, haven't you?
Yeah, just the most of these and stuff
So,
like that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this is a.
I was just saying,
It's not an absolute number.
Yeah, we're just talking, no, so when you look at, on, down the side, if you're looking at the appropriation report, that's a percentage left of the budget.
Yeah, that's what I looked at, was
Yeah.
percentage of the budget.
So, like,
Anything that hadn't used, there are some of those that hadn't used 100%, and we're still 100%. And those, I cut in half, and some of the others were not completely used up, but I'm thinking, we could shuffle that stuff around into the budget until we get to where we want to go with the 16,000. Does that make sense?
no, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Well, this is general.
So, when I'm doing the budget, Sam, I get a pot of money, and where's that piece of paper I have? Hey, Jim, I had it. Did I take it
Is
back?
that the funding order?
Here, right
There
here.
you go.
No, so this, So the total amount of certified levies is $159,145. And that doesn't include our CCD funds. So, but proposed tax caps over 65, that's a 5,700 loss. Local property tax cap loss 610. Projected supplemental homestead credit loss $9,600.
So we're still talking, but what I said,
So they'll take that 159 down.
okay,
Yeah.
And then we take that money and we got.
And then that's the pot that we give to park, we do general, and we do MBA.
and the things, that didn't include, all I did was the park and the police, and you got 22,855. I didn't touch anything in motor vehicle highway, local registry, anything in motor vehicle, park and recreation, that's quite a bit of money. There's money in the rainy day fund, there's late, let's say, match, grant match money, chemical cap, and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of money there, plus the fact that in utilities, we got roughly $1.5 million in utilities. We've got $2.5 million in the bank, but we have to appropriate, and that's the appropriation report. Even though we got, say, $100,000 in the police account, we put this much money in the appropriation. We don't give them everything they need, we just give what we think they need. All right, Sheriff? So there's money.
Well, yeah,
there's
so they
money,
can,
but-
well, you want to give enough to effectively do your job
That's
and
it.
not jeopardize service.
What can rainy day be used for? I don't
It
think.
can be used for any purpose that the council deems, but it's like a savings account,
Well-
and it's really good to have, like if we have an emergency.
Well, I'm thinking that we
Yeah.
could probably use it for repair groups.
Okay.
We are on the board.
We are on Lima Street, and Jim did not say this.
No, I think, I'm joking about that, but the thing is that rainy day fund, I know exactly what it's for. Like when we had a tornado, there was a lot of issues that had to be paid for, there was food that had to be bought, stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff we can do is supplement in disaster, or if we have the electric company, we have to rebuild half the electric system, and we don't have enough money, we have quite a bit of money there, but we may not have enough to cover the whole thing, we'll use the rainy day fund. So we don't have to go out and borrow money or issue bonds or anything like that. It's a good thing to hang on to and keep until the rainy day comes.
The money's not going in there consistently, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So at the end of the, for rainy day, so during COVID, legislation allowed us to take 15% of our unspent budget. So that's 15% of general, CCD, CCI, MDH, and park. And whatever's unspent, to put that in the rainy day fund. But normally it went back to 10% this year. But Amy did get our, investment policy done. There's a lot of steps though that I have to do when I invest, because there's terms that I have to follow with Indiana code. So once we get that going, I can take every bit of rainy day and put it in that
And
investment,
there's a lot of money in the electric that we can.
and we can put a bunch,
Have we done that?
once we get this thing going.
We haven't done it
Okay,
yet.
not yet.
Well, we do, we negotiate with the bank for high interest where we can get, because when we have that much money, we're probably gonna put, what, maybe $1.5 million in there?
Well, that's quite a bit. Well, actually, I was going to trust Indiana, because they've been at 4.5%,
So that's
and
good,
that's good return.
that is a good return, so.
So, and I want to capture that. What's that?
That's the def work, that's some,
Yeah,
some extra money been right now, so.
Put it in.
Into the fund.
yeah.
Anyhow, that's what I'm saying, we've got money in the bank, but we don't want to spend the money we got in the bank. We'll look at the appropriations and cut the appropriations so we can still operate on the original level. And I think if we modify the police department with going down to 2 truck cars, and one of them's parked and the other one's only used for official, both of them are only used for official business, the gas bill and the maintenance bill ought to drop tremendously. So you see what I'm saying? I've spent a lot of time looking at this stuff, and like I said, on the police part, I actually went to Brad, and he gave me a proposal for the last meeting, stuff he'd like to see, and I just modified it a little bit. But he talked about selling the 2018 Marshall cell, and I agree with that, sell that car, and get some money out of that, put that money in the whatever, out
Cash
there, some,
reserves.
so cash reserves or whatever.
Yeah.
Like this one, they said take Marshall off of on duty.
No, we're not gonna take him off on duty call, just, he'll have the clock, what I propose is he'll have the car, that's his proposal, but he can only use it for official business. He might take it home, he might drive it to Evans, but if he's not at it, he's not on duty, okay? If he goes to Indianapolis, he can't respond in Indianapolis. But if he's sitting at home, somebody calls him at 2 o'clock in the morning, you need help, he can jump in and go. That's my proposal. Kind of on call, but only, he can only use it for official business. And if you guys approve that, for me to do that, sell on the Tahoe and government deals, I don't know what we'll get out of it, but like I said, it will sell.
Did you find the percentage of what they want?
No, they haven't contacted me yet.
Well, either way, we'll make money, anyway, because we.
Well, you pay over $10, we make money.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
Exactly.
Well, and the thing is, for right now, if we wanna, make this issue right away, say, implement it by October, at the meeting, September meeting for, say, September 15th, it's October the 1st, we can take that 2013 parking and make it here at the fire station and be safe, okay? And then we can put the 2018 pickup truck there until we sell it, and we can put the 2017 Tahoe in the building that we sell. When we sell the 2018, I got a space, I need that space. Then we'll move the portable generator someplace inside.
Well, that would be awesome, that would be a great space.
Well, that's a space for it, but that, you know, there's a lot of things we can do, but we've always we've been jammed up with all the stuff we got. And if we've got the stuff we got, we're gonna spend less money, and everybody's gonna make the same money, like Sherry suggested. 2% raises across the board, well, most of our money comes out of utilities, and all the cars comes out of utilities, Brad and
Brad's out of general and Sean's out of lit and Park's out of.
yeah, so all that money, the lit money doesn't hit in the general fund in general. So,
Separate account.
So, well, so that I can, okay, two things, so I can start working on numbers. What is your recommendation for, increases for 26?
for the wages, I'd say 50%.
Two?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd like to see Carla get more, but I don't know.
Well, now, here's something, and this is something some of the other municipalities are doing, they're doing bonuses. You could maybe do maybe a moderate increase and then a year of bonus, or maybe 1%, but I don't know, however you guys want, that's just.
Well, let's just say a 2% increase right now, and we're talking about
We
anything.
can
about-
always amend the salary ordinance.
Amend it for a bonus, because I know for a fact that Carla works for that.
She does. Just put it with me.
That's not the worst part, just put it with me. So, is there anything wrong with what I'm proposing on the commercial stuff? So the chair can start working on numbers for that?
I think it's kind of unnecessary.
And then, okay, sorry. I made it.
No, that was
Yeah, I'm talking to Brad about the tracking the gas. He has been tracking gas, but Sam and I talked about that a little bit just a minute ago. If we got two vehicles, there ought to be one sheet for one vehicle and one sheet for the other vehicle. And the thing you gotta remember about gas for police cars, it's not mileage. They said that police car 90-degree temperature and 10 below zero, and just idle while they're sitting there, monitoring her. They patrol, if they're running radars, they're just sitting there, and then you just gotta run, keep them from freezing to death or what. So they'll use, Dan Buell filled the gas up 5 times, never leaves town, never. So that's the thing, is if we get to look at it, if they turn that in on a monthly basis for this, and we see that somebody's on duty a lot more than ever, and they're using a lot of gas, maybe we need to increase the gas limit. As long as they're working, I don't care.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't want us to say, right off.
It just gives you a baseline of where to work.
And this log right here shows the date, the odometer at that time, and the unit number, but so like Sam and I said, it ought to be two separate ones, one per say.
Well,
two times.
Carla can, she redid that. She can,
Yeah.
if you wanna give her some ideas, she'll format it.
Gas for the 24 and one for the,
Yeah,
whatever.
or if it's having your like vehicle.
Yeah, some of them come, so that when the guys are logging it in, they know what they're doing.
That way you can just look at that at the end of the month, you
Right.
can see
And
the
I
first
think-
one, and you can see the last one, you can see the month.
And like Sam's idea, this run sheet can be turned in, so we can monitor
Yeah.
what's being used and kind of what's being, look at the budget and see if we're,
If we're getting-
if we can afford it, do we need an additional appropriation, or are we doing okay? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's,
Well,
everything's a
and
gift
this
right
is,
now.
and this is just such an unknown.
Well, and the thing is,
Because
with that means that we can, like I said, I come up with 22,000, and we can adjust that
I
down
can
to
probably-
16.
Well, and I could probably find other places that we could reduce. Well, okay, let me ask this, because this is something, as far as, because, you know, Amy's fees, she's gonna have 5,000 out of all the utilities and the general.
Yeah.
How much more do you want me to appropriate for, because anything over and above, like, code enforcement, and trial, that costs more, so what do you want me to appropriate? Because it's her and Tom, but.
Well, and then, yeah, I'd say, about $5,000, probably don't spend it, that's, well, maybe.
Well, that's just,
No, that's just for the after stuff, and outside the normal contract, trial stuff, right?
so 5,000 above, outside of works, because,
But it's that much more, okay?
okay, so 25, let's split it up. That's what I did last year. Okay.
Yeah, and the thing is, I got a plan that I'm thinking about, I'll put that on the agenda for next board meeting. And what I'm saying is, code enforcement can be handled a bit different than we are now. The reserves and the deputies can identify the places and turn the list in, okay? And then what we can do then, if we have to, we can either have Sherry send a letter, we can have the attorney send a letter, and then after the 30 days or whatever, it's red stuff right
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
Then, and the thing
And then they
is,
would have to pay my office.
they're never gonna pay you a nickel, they never.
I know, but,
If you do,
If anybody does pay, if a miracle happens,
can't that, though, be placed as a lien on a property, though?
well,
I'll have to ask.
well, that would be after we go to court. We'd have to go to court first. And the thing is, that's the thing, the last two we've had is the judge told them that would hold the fine up as long as they clean the place up, on Hill and
Mhm.
407. And, judge told that last guy, said, if you don't clean your place up, you'll be able to afford to live there because of the fines. And that's what, I don't really want to fine the people as much as, I just want to clean it up. I really don't care that much about the money, I care about
it's
cleaning it up.
gonna be nice, get it cleaned up. And now you gotta use.
Yeah, they just, if they don't clean it up, then we go out.
Yeah.
So what do we need to, do we make a motion on just a proposal, or just,
I will work on the budget, and then I'll share it with everybody, look at it based off your recommendations.
and I'd say, can we, on this proposal, Marshall deal, can we go ahead and make a motion to activate that? And we'd have to surplus it the next board meeting, share it, and Amy have to
You
run
have
it.
to write it, yeah, Amy would have to
When
do
she'd
it.
have a couple of weeks to write that up, so we could.
Well, and that was the other thing, so, with the auditors in my office right now, I don't get anything done because they say, what do you need, and I go get it.
Right.
So, and the last time we were in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, there's timelines with DLGF, so I have put that we were gonna do a hearing on September 8th. I would have to have everything uploaded and ready to go in Gateway by this Thursday. I don't think I'm gonna make that target. My rep, when I had a meeting with her last week, she said if I can move that date out, we just need 10 days between the public hearing and the adoption.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily have to move the 8th meeting, we could just do a budget hearing meeting, and I already talked to Dale since he, asked him if he was traveling, and he said he'd work around it. So is there a date
Okay.
that you guys would like to just do the budget hearing, and I can put that in my system?
Well, I'd like to go ahead and activate just what we proposed for.
Yeah, but but for me to work on budget.
Right, now, the thing is, we can sell the 2018, but if we don't have it done before the meeting, I don't care, we just need to stop it.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. No, I was just meaning for me to work on the
Can I
budget.
get a promotion or proposal to make this happen? All this happen by October 1st.
I'll make a motion for, March 21st.
So that means Sean has to stop parking his vehicle October 1st, no matter what. I'll say aye.
Okay, so what all changes are those?
Marshall will use the 2024 pickup only for official business. We're gonna sell the 2014, which is already up for sale, and then sell the 2018 pickup, after we surplus it. And then the deputy will use the 2017 Tahoe only when he is on duty and share with the reserve. In other words, it'll be parked in the garage, when he goes on duty, he picks it up. When he's off duty, parks it.
Okay.
That should cut our maintenance and gas tremendously. But we still have to monitor because
Well, yeah.
I don't know,
We
I don't
should.
know what's.
So there's no questions, like.
Okay. So, and then I just need to have, did you want to finish your motion?
I think we made a motion.
Did y'all in favor?
Made a motion, all first, all in favor, say aye.
Okay,
You want to take a copy of this and make sure you got what the motion is? There you go.
yes, please. Well, the surplus resolution,
Well,
I will send that to Amy to start working on now.
yeah, and if you need to get information from the vehicle,
Well, we can get the VIN number from our insurance policy. I just need, whatever the miles are.
Well, and then the thing is, we can ask Brad to get the miles for it. If he was here tonight, I'd tell him to fix it, do it, But all this is gonna happen October 1st. Okay, and if we surplus the 2018 pickup truck, sometime down the road, we need to look and see what it's worth. Because that truck's worth a heck of a lot more than that Tahoe does. And
Oh, yeah.
it should be right.
As a truck.
And whatever fund we purchase these out of, that's the fund that the sale, that's where that has to go back.
I
in.
don't have a problem with that at all, but
Yeah.
that means we have money in those funds down the road to do something else with.
So again, the hearing date in September, when would you like to do that?
Let me see. Someday I'm not.
We can leave the budget, or the council meeting on the 8th, that's not a problem, it's just, and the hearing date would not, it wouldn't take any more than half
I
hour.
know on the 15, 16, 17.
So if you wanna do you want to say want to do the budget hearing on September the 8th?
That's our council meeting,
Okay.
and that's the date, I'd like to push it out a little bit further,
When
just to
do
give
you
me.
want to do that?
Well, when did you say you'd be here,
The
Sam?
next week, the 15, 16, 17.
Well, let's, hang on, let
How
me
about,
count.
how about the 11th, which is a Thursday?
That's the same week.
That's the same week.
Oh.
How about, since you're out, how about the 22nd, because that's not a fire department meeting. That's the fourth
Okay.
Monday.
Okay,
And that still gives me. I'm good on days, so September, and I can change that, and that's just the budget hearing, we'll still keep the 8th, is that okay? Okay.
okay, and the 8th, I would like to propose the surplus, a resolution for the surplus of the 2018
Having
pickup truck
that ready.
and a surplus of the junk we have at the sewer plant. Undetermined amount because pretty much all roads go to and I have no idea what it weighs.
Okay.
Because all the pumps and all that junk that's in that building, all that has to go. Yes, it will.
There's some joke.
What do you doing after the meeting, Sam?
Another.
Gonna give us a tour of the sewer plant, you get a key, don't you? Done like-
I think I do, but I don't get it.
Okay. Well, Sam wouldn't know what the place looks like. I mean, he's never been down there, so let's go there.
It's
walk
really,
around.
it's really cool.
The thing on the overflow, the diving water and the overflow. I'm just joking. The overflow doesn't have a diving over. It's when the infiltration that comes into the plant goes into this overflow, and there's about 200,000 gallon tank there, that then has to sit there, it comes from rain, then they have to treat that water before it goes into the Raccoon Creek. So it's a pretty big tank. But it shouldn't have much water in it unless it's like rain.
There ain't no water in it at all.
There's no water in the hole now.
The highest I've ever seen is maybe 2 foot.
So it's certain,
Right, all the, like, all these creeks and everything flows into Raccoon Lake.
So you've been drinking all.
yeah,
It said that is the purest water.
Coming out of the street.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna try, they're raccoon right down here.
yeah,
They
same,
started main thoroughfare for the raccoon.
yeah, same, I was talking about that water, it's supposed to be drinkable, I ain't drinking, here, it's gonna happen.
If you go to an actual water treatment facility, and there are certain water treatment facilities that actually make plastic water bottles, they're distributed, and it says on them, Plainfield,
They
wastewater.
bottle that water?
Huh?
They bottle that water?
They bottle it and you drink it.
That same,
Yeah, look where some of it's manufactured. One of them's the Plainfield deal.
okay. Does everybody understand what we're talking about tonight? Nobody's upset, nobody's gonna cry and be pissed off because we don't have any money next year. But the thing is, if we get to something in one of
Let
those,
me stop.
well, let's go to the meeting.
I know,
They just,
where have you been?
I'll say I didn't hear it say, I'm sorry, but I'm running my mouth.
that's why I said, please let me end this, Jim.